Hi there, ladies and gents. It's Chris here from Locked Money. Now, we've just released a big update here at Locked Money. Locked Money now supports many different blockchain networks, and I want to go through all of what exactly that means and how it can benefit you in this quick short video. So let's just jump in. So what does this mean now that we are essentially supporting multi-chain? What this means is that you can now, at Locked Money, for free, create as many self-custodial, multi-signature, safe and secure vaults as you like. When Locked Money went live, we supported the base network, but you can now create a vault because we are now supporting not only the base network, but we're also supporting the Ethereum network, BNB network, Arbitrum, Polygon as well, and we're going to be adding more blockchain networks as well. So therefore, if you have assets on any of those chains anywhere else, maybe in your Ravi wallet or a MetaMask or a hard wallet, or maybe at Binance or Coinbase, you can now, if you want to, transfer them to Locked Money and have them safe and secure in your own multi-sig self-custodial vault. So in this video, let's go through how it all works. It's really simple. It's very, very easy, and I think you're going to like this. So I'm going to show you in this video how to add different blockchain networks to a vault, and then how to toggle between them so you can see your assets depending on what chain we are looking at. So let's just go through it all together. So what you're seeing right now on your screen, this is a test account of mine, and as you can see here, I've got a vault that I've simply called Chris Test Vaults. Now if I click on this, this will show us that this is on the base network. So this is the default network, if you like. When I created this vault in Locked Money, it gets created on the base network, so that's great. Now I do have some assets in my vault. Let me click on assets here. Not many, because this is a test account. There you go. You can see I've got a little bit of Locked Money itself, the LMY token, in this particular vault on the base network. Great. Now let's imagine I had some assets on a different network somewhere else that I now wanted to have in Locked Money. Let's imagine, for example, we'll do a few in this video. Let's imagine we've got some BNB. So you might have some BNB, which is either maybe in Binance, or you might have it in your MetaMask, or wherever, but you want to send it to Locked Money. The first thing you have to do is you have to add the BNB network to your vault, because BNB itself is on the BNB chain, so we will add the BNB chain to our existing vault. Let's go and do that. We'll do this a few times. So here, clicking on my vault itself, you'll now see that we've got this little option here of various icons of various blockchains. If we click on the drop down menu, you will notice these are the chains, and these will expand and, or rather, get added to over time. These are the other networks that you can add. So in a moment, we'll add the BNB chain, and then we'll send some BNB to our vault. Now, one thing that's important to note is that when you deploy a new blockchain to your vault, you will need to have some gas to allow this transaction to go through on the blockchain. So whatever the native token is of the blockchain you're about to add, you'll need to have some of that token in the first place. So for BNB, the BNB chain, I will need to have some BNB itself. Now I'm using MetaMask, so let me just quickly show you. Here's my MetaMask. Again, this is a test account, so there's not much in there. But you'll see that I do have a little bit of BNB here, about $3 worth. That's more than enough. The gas is going to be like 4 cents. But you will need to have some, in this case, BNB in the first place for your gas fees to add this new network to your vault. So now that I've got some BNB for gas, let's go back and actually deploy this. So here I am. Let me click on the drop-down menu. Let me click on BNB. It says here you're about to deploy this vault on the BNB chain. It's exactly what we're going to do. This will allow you to manage your vault across multiple networks. Great. So let's do that. I'm going to click Add Network. MetaMask will open. It's asking me to confirm. And look, note there, the network fee, as I just mentioned, is 4 cents in BNB. So it's only 4 cents, but I do need to have some BNB in the first place, which I have. So I'm going to click on Confirm. And in a second, it's all done. And how do I know it's all done? If I click back here to my vault, look, it now says BNB. And as I'm sure you've also noticed, at the top here, we are now seeing my assets in the BNB chain itself. So let's get clear on this. We're now looking at my vault, but we're now looking at my assets that are on the BNB chain. BNB is showing up here. Now, if I click on assets itself, you'll see that there's no assets in here, because on the BNB chain, I don't have any assets, but I do have some assets on the base network, don't I, that we looked at a few moments ago. So how do we toggle back to the base network? Well, very simple. We click on the big button in the top right-hand corner, and if we choose base, To access your vault on the base, you need to switch your network. That's fine. Let's switch network. Now we're going back to the base network. Look, there's the lot money token that we saw a moment ago. So we're seeing my assets in my vault on the base network. That's correct. But if I now want to go to the same vault but on the BNB network, there's a few different ways to toggle between the networks. You can either go to the top right hand corner here and click on the chain you want to toggle to, or if you click on your vault itself, let's do that, click on the drop down menu, and in this case let's choose BNB chain. There we go, we're switching network. Now I am here back in my BNB chain. So there's no assets in my vault on the BNB chain at the moment, so why don't we send some just so we can then see some assets. So let's look at my MetaMask. I think I've got some BNB in here. Well, we looked at it a second ago, didn't we? There we go, I got a little bit of BNB itself. So why don't I send some BNB from my MetaMask account to my vault on the BNB chain, and then you'll be able to see the asset or the assets here. So why don't I do that? So I'm going to click on receive, making sure that I'm in my BNB network, which I am in my vault. Let's click on receive. Here is my vault address. Let me copy that. I'm now going to go to MetaMask. I'm simply going to click on BNB. I'm going to click send. Let's just close this behind us so it's not too messy. Let's go back to MetaMask. Let's go to BNB. Click on send. Let me put in the address we're sending to, which is my wallet address or my vault address that we just copied a second ago. I'm going to put a little bit of BNB. I mean, there's hardly any here anyway. If I put the max, what's that? It's only $3. So let's do a little bit less. There we go. I'm sending out $2 worth. So I'm now going to send a little bit of BNB from my MetaMask to my vault on the BNB chain in lot money. Let's do that. It's costing me 1 cent in transaction fee. I'm going to click confirm, and it's now being sent. It will take a few moments for the blockchain to work its magic. If I click refresh here, let's see if it's arrived. There we go. Look, my BNB is now showing in my vault on the BNB chain. So this is really what I wanted to illustrate to you. We're now looking at, as you can see up here, obviously it says BNB chain. But remember, we've also got assets on our base network. So if I go back to my vault on the left-hand side here, I click on the drop-down menu and I choose base. To access my vault on the base, I need to switch networks. I'm simply clicking switch networks. And look, now I'm seeing my locked money tokens, which are on the base network, but again, in my same vault. So again, if I want to go back to see my assets on the BNB network in my same vault, click on the drop down, click BNB, I'm toggling again. And you can see the top right hand corner, it's toggling backwards and forwards between BNB and base in this case. And so it's as simple as that. And if you then wanted to add, let's say, the Ethereum network, if you wanted some assets on Ethereum, so you'd be supporting 3 networks, again, exactly the same. You go here, I won't do this right now just for the sake of duration of this video, but you click on Ethereum. You're about to deploy, manage this vault on Ethereum, just as we saw when we did the same with BNB. I won't actually do it, but let me just click the process. Oh, I have done it. Oh, no, I haven't. I need to confirm. Let's do it while we're here. So Ethereum is a little bit more expensive. As you see, it's costing me $1.15 in Ethereum. I do have Ethereum in my MetaMask. Again, I need some Ethereum for the gas fee. So I do have some Ethereum on the Ethereum network in my MetaMask in order to do this. So that's great. Let's click on confirm. I can close this. And if I click back over here, you will now see, look, it's showing Ethereum up here. So I've now got some Ethereum. I'm now in the Ethereum network. And again, if I want to toggle to the base, or sorry, the BNB network, or to the base network, that is how I would do it. So just to be crystal clear, we're now looking at our assets on the base network in our vault. If I go to BNB, I know we've just done this. We're switching networks. We're staying in the same vault, but we're now looking at what's on the BNB network in our vault. And we've obviously got a little bit of BNB that we sent a few moments ago. If I now go to Ethereum that we've just created a second ago, there won't be any assets there, will there? Because we haven't sent any assets. We just added the Ethereum network, 30 seconds ago. So I'm now going to the Ethereum network. Let me switch There we go. See, no assets there. But I could, of course, obviously send my assets that I want to store on the Ethereum network into my vault on the Ethereum network. So that's how the multi-chain works. Really nice and simple. And of course, these vaults are, as you know, self-custodial. You always have access to your funds. Multi-signature, so you can add second signer if you want for added security. And I hope you find this helpful. Any questions? Please ask in our Telegram community. That's all for now.